Hello and welcome to ET Garage. I'm Eugene Tordo. This is my garage. If you haven't been here before, do me a favor, go down there, subscribe, hit the thumbs up, hit the thumbs down, leave your opinions down there in the, in the comment section down there, and help my channel grow, or at least that's what all is supposed to do. So if you could do that, it'd be highly appreciated. I'm trying to get to over 1,000 subscribers so I get monetized. And the reason I want to get monetized is because it helps pay for all these projects. Today's video is going to be a follow-up video. If you haven't seen the last video on decarbonizing the motor using water, where I sprayed water down the throttle body while the engine's running in order to try and decarbonize the pistons and combustion chambers and all that stuff. I'll leave a link somewhere up here, I don't know. And it'll be about me trying to decarbonize this motor. And if you're not familiar with this motor, I have a video with an overview of it somewhere up here. I'll leave a link again. And all that good stuff. And I wasn't very happy with how that turned out. It was kind of inconclusive. Could be on my part, so leave your opinions down there, like I said, in the comment section. But I ended up the next day pouring a bottle of Amsoil deep cleaning gasoline additive P.I. performance improver in poured it in the tank, filled her up. I had to go travel all the way to Jersey for a family get-together and back, and I probably covered, I don't know, about 250 miles between, taking the scenic route and all that stuff, and had a great time. And the next day I went down there, bores again, the same two bores, 3 cylinders, 3 and 5. There's the only ones I did because I just didn't see the point in taking out all the spark plugs of every cylinder unless I'm going to do a compression test or something. But I did cylinders 3 and 5. I will post pictures and discuss them over during this video, and I'll try and post them at the end of the video like I promised in my last video and forgot to do. Hopefully this video I won't forget to do that when I edit the video. But anyway, I'm not sponsored by Amsoil in any way. I'm not associated with them. I do use their products. I use their engine oil. I use their differential oil. I use their brake fluid. I just started using their brake fluid this year. For years I've been using their oils with great results. I can't say I've ever had a problem with their oil. It's been great. And another thing I'm going to be trying besides this is, since I ordered that bottle, I went ahead and ordered some Amsoil synthetic air tool oil. And I do use air tools, believe it or not, and I'll see how that works. I don't know if I'm going to see any difference in the operation of the tool, but based on my experience with synthetics in general and Amsoil products, it's got to be good for the tools, because that's been my experience with synthetic oils. I started using synthetic oils back in 1976 when I first started driving, and actually that was true. Yeah, I did. My first car was a 52 Chevy, and I can't remember if it was 76. I remember Mobile One was just starting to come out back then, sometime around there anyway. And I switched to synthetics, and back then that made you could tell a really big difference switching from the old dyno oil to synthetics. Today I don't think it's maybe not as much. The regular motor oils that are non-synthetic are a big improvement over the years. So are they as good as synthetics? I don't think so. But back then you could actually tell a big difference, especially in an older car that had dyno oil in its whole history of its life. But anyway, one story is, this is going to 79. I was stationed up in Loring Air Force Base, Maine, back when they had a snow dumped up there. It would get really cold, and you're talking like 3-4 feet of snow. And I had this old Jeep Wagoneer, and I was the only person running synthetics. People used to make fun of me back then for doing that. But you know, that up there at Loring, Maine at that time, I don't know if it's still like that with global warming, but it used to get pretty damn cold. You're talking 30 below zero, and then add the wind chill factor, it could get as low as 70 below out there on the runway. But anyway, we were all in the barracks. There was a snowstorm. We needed to get to our posts. Everyone goes out, starts shoveling out, and nobody's car would start except for that Jeep Wagoneer, which I had Mobile One in. So, and if I used Amsoil at that time, I can't remember when Amsoil started first producing their oil, but if they had it at that time, I'm sure it would have performed just as good as the any other oil, especially in cold temperatures. Uh, so that's kind of a funny story. Everyone ended up piling my Wagoneer, and I had to drive them out to where we do our jobs out there at Loring Air Force Base, which was way out in the bomb dump. But that's a whole other story. But anyway, I always got a laugh out of that. Uh, anyway, getting back to this. One other product I'm going to use is the Amsoil power steering fluid. I never used their power steering fluid. I do use, like I said, I use the engine oil, I use the gear oil, I use their brake fluid. Next time I do a transmission oil change, which I'll probably do this winter maybe, I'll switch to the Amsoil. I do run a synthetic in there. It's not Amsoil. That's a whole other story why I used that oil, because it was the first time I ever built an automatic transmission. So I was worried that the thing would blow up the first time I ever used it. But so I used the cheapest brand synthetic oil I could get, and it's still a very, even though it's the cheapest brand synthetic, it's, you know, trans been working great. So any good synthetic oil is better than, I think, than regular oil. That's just my opinion and experiences. But anyway, getting back to power steering fluid, uh, if you have regular oil, power steering fluid oil, this has been my experience, and you change to a full synthetic power steering fluid, you can actually notice a difference in the steering. It's smoother and a little easier, especially C4. C4s basically have two things that are heavy. The steering is always a little on the heavy side compared to most cars, and the braking. This has nothing to do with braking, but it does have to do with your power steering. And the most important thing is it'll help your power steering run cooler and wear less. Now, I do already have a synthetic in here. I changed that back when I think we first got the car, and it's been changed a couple of times, but it was I can't remember the brand. It was just some odd brand name, and that's been a while, so I'm going to change it to the Amsoil. I don't completely flush the power steering. I don't like the idea of having to worry about running it dry and getting air in it. I usually just drain the reservoir completely. I'll fill that up, run the car for, you know, X amount of miles, you know, or hours of driving. You know, I'll probably get like a couple of weeks of driving in it, and then I'll drain it again and add another bottle, and that's how I completely swap the oil. I just like doing it that way. Unless there's something wrong with your power steering system, then, you know, it ain't gonna hurt it. And like I said, I always notice the difference going from regular oil power steering fluids to synthetic. So anyway, I'm going to be trying that, and of course I'm going to be trying their air tool oil, which is definitely going to be a plus. I can't imagine it being a negative. But anyway, getting back to this, I'll pop myself over into my house in front of my computer, and I'll bring up I'll edit into this video and do a voiceover of the pictures of the cylinders. I was really impressed how well this stuff worked. It really did a good job. I'm not sure, not sure if it's a combination of using the water just before I use this product, or this product on its own, but it did do a really good job of, I do have actual shiny spots on the pistons. Didn't completely decarbonize them, but there are shiny spots on the pistons. You see shiny aluminum, which before it was completely carbonized. And one thing, like I said, I noticed is, or I think I said, I noticed in there was the back of the valves are really carbonized. A lot of carbon on there, and that's a whole other story, which I'll go into. I think about 40, like I said, 40,000 miles on this motor. And I built the bottom end, and then of course I sent the heads out to have rebuilt. I did a mild port job, had them rebuilt, and the guy that did the rebuild used cheap valve seals, and I think that's the reason all the carbon buildup on the back of the valves. Because this motor really doesn't use a lot of oil, you know, especially for a 383 stroker. You know, I don't really beat on it too much. You know, once in a while I'll get aggressive out there in the twisty mountain back roads. But other than that, it runs great. I will be taking those cylinder heads off, I hope, this winter, because I want to upgrade them to better cylinder heads and some other things. So, like I said, if you're not subscribed, subscribe and hit the notification bell. And this way, when that video comes up, or at least I hope I do it, you'll be able to see that video. Anyway, I'm going to get in the house and I'll start popping those pictures up to the cylinders and going over them and etc. etc. Alright, I'm in the house on the computer, and here is a picture of what I believe to be cylinder number 5 from the last video when I used water to decarbonize the pistons. And you can see there's still a lot of carbon on there and so forth. And you'll see here in a couple of seconds the after picture, which is coming up right here. I'm kind of new at doing this voiceover, so bear with me. And I brighten this picture up, but you can see the shiny spot on the piston, which wasn't there before. So this is with the Amsoil, after about 250 miles with the Amsoil in the tank. And you can definitely see how there's a shiny spot on there, and it's definitely being decarbonized. Now, getting on to cylinder number 3, you can see this picture looks, piston looks cleaner. This is with the water, not with the Amsoil, and it's clean. It's cleaner than that last piston, but it still isn't as clean as with the Amsoil, which I'll show here in a couple of seconds. Like I said, bear with me. I'm new at this voiceover on the picture thing, so here it is. Anyway, you can see shiny spots on the pistons and more decarbonized. And of course, the camera views are a little different. There's no way I could get the camera views exactly the same. I'll try and get another shot here. Okay, here's another shot of the inside that same cylinder number 3, and you can see how shiny it is on parts of the pistons. And it does look better. I don't know if I just run one tank after another of this cleaner over and over again, if that would make a difference, if it just can totally clean the pistons or not. But here's a shot of the back side of the valve, or the valve, and you can see a little bit of combustion chamber, and you can see the carbon buildup on the back of the valve. So I don't know if I would keep running the Amsoil, if that would totally decarbonize that valve or not. But anyway, that's what it looks like right now after using the Amsoil. I am impressed with it. Let's go back out there to the garage and we'll wrap this up. Okay, I'm back out here in the garage. I want to thank everybody for watching. I hope my videos are helpful. They're not the most exciting videos, but I like to think they're helpful. I'm going to be doing a video on a quick fix for weather stripping. Will be on the C4 Corvette. I'll go over how to do that. And this actually applies to any car, but it'll be on this. And so that will be an upcoming video, I hope, next week. So like I said, go down there, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I know I keep saying this, but do that because I need to get monetized, help pay for all these projects. So anyway, thanks for watching, and God bless.